everybody. Welcome to the Jodie Emery Show. Today is Thursday, November 24th, and as of today, Marc has 958 days left to serve in his prison sentence. His early release date is July 9th, 2014, and that's 85% of the 5-year sentence for good behavior. So as long as he continues to behave, he'll be able to get out in 2014. And as this month winds down, it's really exciting to know that 2012 is coming. We like feeling the days tick by and get closer to have him come back here with us. And of course, I miss him terribly. And it's going to be hard as the holidays come to not have him here. That's always the hardest time for families and prisoners to be apart. But Marc still gets a lot of mail from people. He's still getting books and magazines. And I encourage you, as always, to write him a letter, send him a little Christmas note, a Christmas card or a postcard, anything you like, just to keep his spirits up while he's in there during this holiday season. So the address is at freemark.ca, and he always tries to write back to people's letters. In fact, his latest blog, which you can read at freemark.ca and cannabisculture.com, is thanking people for the letters that they've sent. And he names a few people and what they've written to him about. And it's quite interesting, the things that he hears about from behind bars. So check out freemark.ca and cannabisculture.com for Marc's latest prison blog, thanking you for writing him letters. I went down to visit Marc this last weekend, and it was great to see him, of course. But right when I got down there on Friday, we received the response from the White House that we were waiting for. Or it wasn't really the response we were waiting for. I would have preferred something else. But as the White House has chosen to do with a number of petitions, their response is to give no comment. They've decided not to say anything about Marc's petition to be pardoned. So if you want to check that out, go to cannabisculture.com and freemark.ca. It's at the top of freemark.ca. Read the article and see what their response is. Basically saying that the president relies on the advice of the Justice Department to decide who to pardon. So this petition, he can't answer it. He doesn't know what he's being told to do. So that's pretty much a lame response from what's been kind of a lame president lately. So check that out at freemark.ca. It's unfortunate that 8,249 people each got an email response telling them that their opinion, though encouraged to be submitted, is just going to be laughed at and ignored. So Obama, step up, sir. You are a cannabis user. You were a cannabis user. You know that this drug war is wrong, so stop screwing over the American people and ruining lives. That's my little message to you. So we have other news about prohibition and politicians here in Canada. We've been discussing a lot about Bill C-10. It's a massive crime bill with many different parts to it. And one of the worst parts is the mandatory minimums for drug crimes. And that means we're going to have a U.S.-style sentencing structure where people will be automatically sent to prison for growing plants, for sharing plants, for being involved in the cannabis culture. So that was just discussed yesterday and the day before in a Justice Committee here in Canada. Unfortunately, the Conservative government under Harper controls pretty much all the committees. They control the House of Commons and the Senate. So they're going to be debating and discussing this bill today or sometime soon in Parliament, hoping that the Liberals and the NDP all take a firm stand against it, as they have been up until now. But unfortunately, the Conservatives do have pretty much power that's limitless. They can do whatever they choose. So we're not going to give up, though, on educating people. What's the point of laying down and just taking it when you can give a bit of a fight? So we're still continuing our actions against this crime bill. And you can go to leadnow.ca. They've been doing a fantastic job organizing action against this crime bill. And today and tomorrow, across Canada, there are Conservative Member of Parliament office occupations taking place, or protests, because the Conservatives are never really going to be there to meet the public. They hide away like the little trolls that they are. They aren't going to be there to listen to us, but we'll be there at over 126 offices across the country protesting against this bill and educating passersby and the public and the media, if they choose to cover it, why this crime bill is a major disaster for Canada. So kudos to leadnow.ca and to avaz.org, the petition website, because they have brought together a lot of people from across Canada to oppose this crime bill. And right after I finish this show, in just a few minutes, we'll be packing up and heading down to the Conservative Member Parliament's office in Vancouver South, where I was actually supposed to run with the Green Party, but where I decided to support the Liberal Ujjal Dosanjh, who was a great help to Marc and to many different people for good causes until he lost in a stolen election campaign. Or, let's not say it was stolen, let's just think that, the Conservatives were found guilty of illegally spending money and doing some mischievous things in different ridings. So I don't know if it was an honest election that they won. And, it's unfortunate that we lost a Liberal seat to a Conservative. But I'll be at MPY Young's office to be there with a sign with other people, hopefully educating about this awful crime bill. And we do have some support from 4 former mayors of the city of Vancouver, Philip Owen, Larry Campbell, Sam Sullivan, and I can't remember the other person's name, it was before my time, but these men have all come out with Stop the Violence, a BC organization, to say that prohibition is a failure. This has been in the news today. They used a great picture of me holding up the Cannabis Canada flag and saying that I've been holding the flag for years and the mayors are now behind us. And Sam Sullivan and Philip Owen and Larry Campbell have all been saying positive things about our issue for a while. But, it's unfortunate again that they come out this late in the game when the bill they're rallying against is about to be passed in Parliament. But some support is better than no support, and Larry Campbell is a Liberal senator, so it's good to have these prestigious men aboard. And a little fun fact, Philip Owen, as the mayor of Vancouver, ran Marc Emery out of town, promised to keep him out of town and that he would be toast, and over the years realized the error in his ways and met with Marc even. We ran into him on the street one time and he said, you were right, Marc, all that time. So never forget that our enemies can sometimes become our allies if you just work hard enough to change their mind and educate them. So that's some good news. Getting the discussion going, the province newspaper had an editorial saying that this was the right move. So if you know of any politician or any journalist or anybody really who's in a position of power or influence, be sure to let them know how you feel about our issue, because with enough pressure they can change sides. So that's my message for you today. I've got to wrap it up and head out to protest, take a big sign that says shame on the Justice Minister. We still have that from when he extradited Marc. But we'll be getting our voices heard, and I hope you continue to do the same. Tune in to CannabisCulture.com for our live shows and all the news. Remember that every week I do my show, but a lot happens in that time. So go to CannabisCulture.com to check it out. Freemark.ca, as always, has Marc's blogs and my weekly videos and any other big news related to him and his case. And Twitter, Facebook, down below in the info bar, all the addresses are there so you can follow us and keep up on the news. Thanks so much for tuning in. Keep up the hard work. This isn't over by a long shot. It won't even be over long after we're gone, but let's do our part to make the world a better place while we're here. Thanks so much, everyone, and free Marc Emery.
Former Vancouver mayors Sam Sullivan, Larry Campbell, Philip Owen, and Mike Harcourt are teaming up to support the legalization of marijuana. Shahid Debji joins us live with more now. Shahid, this initiative isn't just about ending prohibition.
No, Colleen, it's not. The 4 mayors want marijuana to be regulated for a couple of reasons. One being crime reduction, the other so the province's economy can benefit. BC is known for its beautiful mountains, its bodies of water, and its BC bud. The underground economy for marijuana is said to be in the billions and a large contributor to gang activity.
It just seems ridiculous that we are allowing criminals to make so much money off drugs.
So former Vancouver Mayor Sam Sullivan, along with his counterparts Philip Owen, Mike Harcourt, and Larry Campbell, are saying it's time to legalize marijuana.
These guys are in the criminal world are getting all this money tax-free, and the taxpayer is stuck with all the social and health costs. That's just unreasonable.
The mayors have teamed up with Stop the Violence BC, a coalition seeking the legalization and regulation of pot.
If we took a public health approach, we could deal with this issue in a much more rational way that would protect young people from the harms of cannabis, it would raise tax revenue, and it would totally eliminate this violence that we're seeing in our communities.
One of the local pioneers for legalization, Marc Emery, released a statement from his jail cell in the U.S., saying, while it's hopeful that the 4 former mayors have made crystal clear the urgency and necessity of ending prohibition, it remains disturbing that virtually no politician currently in elected office at any level advocates this.
When you're in office, you have a lot of people depending on you, and they don't want you to say controversial things, so you're careful.
And politics is why criminologist Robert Gordon says legalization is unlikely.
Such a move would be entirely inconsistent with the platform that's been offered by the Federal Conservative Party, and they're the ones who are calling the shots here.
Do you think it's actually going to happen?
No, but I think it should, and I think we've got to keep stirring the pot.
But as much as they stir the pot, it's still up to the federal government to make changes to the criminal code, and with the Conservative majority...